We're shifting into a new paradigm. The world is moving away from living in survival and learning how to thrive. We're shedding everything we have been conditioned to believe and creating a new reality as we uncover the truth within us. The truth is in our bodies, in connection with our sexuality. With this comes change in the way we approach intimacy in all of our relationships. The New Paradigm Intimacy podcast is here to support you to understand how we can better experience sex, love, and connection. Each episode, we will be sharing the voices of leaders who are supporting the shift in the new paradigm by harnessing the power of sexual energy so that you can experience your deepest pleasure and all of your aliveness. Hello and welcome. My name is Elizabeth Willis, and I am the host of the Institute New Paradigm Intimacy podcast, as well as the director of the Institute, where we specialize and we are here to promote sexuality development and the learning of sexuality in the world to raise the vibration and consciousness of humanity. And today I have a really dear friend of mine, Diana Nuñez, here with me to share a little bit around her experience in sexuality. And Diana will be an upcoming guest facilitator in our next round that is beginning April 14th. And we will soon be sharing details and information about this very unique round that we are holding. So thank you, Diana, so much for coming.
Thank you.
Being here with me. Diana and I met 2 years ago at a sexuality retreat, and she was my roommate, and we have been talking and connected ever since. And it was like this burst when you came into the room, because I was in the room before anyway, and Diana came in, she's like, I'm here.
Such a beautiful memory about us. And it was like having my twin, because my name is Diana Elizabeth. As a Latina or Colombian, we have always two names. So let's see. Today I'm going to be Diana, the Tantric Latina.
I love it. So Diana, tell the audience a little bit about who you are and give us a little introduction of your yumminess.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, my name is Diana. I was born in Colombia, but right now I'm a digital nomad. And who am I? Wow. Let's say that I'm a woman that is connected with the cause to transform the world and help women to heal their wounds and hearts. But this starts in my life long time ago when I was I will say 8 years old. 8 years old, because I was a little girl that had the dream to become a speaker, a writer, and travel around the world, just because my dad was a speaker and a writer and he was my hero. And since I was a child, I had this calling, and it happens step by step. And it has been a strong path of my life, I had been exploring a lot about my own trauma and all the issues that my family had and all the secrets that were stored in the womb from all my ancestors and especially me. So when I was 21 years old, I felt this call after I finished university. I was like, I'm not going to work for a person, giving an exchange of money and time. I will have something different in the world. And I became an entrepreneur. And always this was always in my heart, because as I said, as a little child, I want to change the world. So I became an entrepreneur, and since that, I had been walking a long path that I will let you know here, but I had studied with so many people. But the biggest thing that I have been doing is the experience, because as a Colombian, when I felt the call for sexuality, nothing was happening around, just like a maybe prostitution or happy ending massages. It wasn't anything about tantra or sexuality. And I was just 21 years old, feeling like a sexuality was more than friction and orgasms and pornography. So my curiosity took me into the amazing Google. And through Google, yeah, because it was empty in Colombia. Through Google, I found that it was something fun and nice that was like a sacred sexuality and all these things. So I started like mixing things, and I was teaching workshops with the age of 22 until a woman came to me and said like, what you're doing is so beautiful, but you are missing something that is called Tantra. And I was like, Tantra? You will pronounce it like Tantra. How do you say Tantra, Elizabeth, in English? Say it.
Tantra.
Tantra. Okay. So I was like, Tantra, what? So I found that Tantra exists, and that changed my life. I will let you know how. So right now I'm an international facilitator that it's helping a lot of women with their hearts, like connecting with their sexuality and helping with women empowerment through sexuality. So I had been lucky, and also I'm really grateful with the world that had given me the opportunity to represent this part of the world, teaching in different festivals around the world and having my own festivals and online courses, live events, but everything because I'm really passionate about this topic, because it heals a lot about me.
Beautiful. Yeah, thanks for sharing. It is really a personal journey, like this, the weaving and the journey of sexuality. Like the experience is so unique, yet it's also this part that helps us to remind us that we're not separated, and that we're all going through this. Like we're all experiencing this uniqueness, but it is a unique own individual journey that everyone goes through.
Yeah, individual journey, yes, of course, because imagine when I had this conversation with a girl that said you are missing something that is called Tantra. It wasn't anything about Tantra in Colombia, so I found a way to invite a facilitator from Brazil to Colombia, and I learned with her like a tantric massage. And I remember the first time when I received like a sacred touch with intention. I was crying. I was like shouting. My body was reacting in a way that I didn't expect. And I didn't know that I had so much storage about what I had. When I was 9 years old, I was molested by a cousin every day until I was 14, and nobody helped me. I was like, I have a cousin that is touching me every morning, but all the adults were busy. So I learned how to be like protecting myself. So with that massage, I cried so much, and I was with a lot of anger. But my mask is the optimistic woman that is so outgoing. But that day I went so deep, and after I felt the most amazing and incredible orgasm ever. I was like shaking, moaning, feeling like making love with God, with Virgin Mary, with everyone. I was like, what is that? What is that? So since that day, I was like, I need to teach this around the world. How come we're just thinking that orgasm is about friction and depending of another person or a toy? So I had a lot of healing and a lot of pleasure in the same moment. And for me, that was a breakthrough and a moment of like certainty that I have this diamond on my hands that needs to be shared. So since that, I became more curious about these learnings, and as much I explore, I found more trauma in me that I never recognized about, not connecting with the feminine energy, feeling shame about being a woman, having my womb like not really protect, or I wasn't taking care of my womb and my sexual energy, with the excuse that I was a liberated woman. And it was a misunderstanding of what it's really to be free and liberated. So, wow, I still remember that. And that's why one of the techniques that I love is conscious touch as a way to heal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And you were just talking about how it was like in the moment where you were in the pleasure and you were receiving all the pleasure and then all the healing, like at the same time, like simultaneously. And that's, I feel, such a potent reminder of the power that moves through when you step into opening yourself and opening yourself to exploring sexuality. And yes, like the medicine that is there to be discovered within your body, and waiting and ready to be invited for that experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine in this world, there are a lot of people finding their path through ayahuasca or medicines. But when I explore Tantra and all these practices about breath work, sound, massage, it's like a ayahuasca, but with your own energy, without the need to take medicine. And I'm not against medicine. I found it really amazing, but it's like you have the power inside your body, and your sexual energy can take you into places that you have not even idea. So that's something that their world they don't know. Yeah, they're like, oh, sexual energy, yeah, for pleasure, for having fun, for having babies, because I need to show myself. It's like there is something more that goes beyond, and this is the calling that we do as a tantric practitioners or healers.
And I feel that piece right there, like that's the piece of fear, where it's like stepping into the unknown, because we don't know the potential and we don't know what will unfold. And this is why sexuality has been in the shadows for so long, and why it has been unspoken about, and why it has been hidden, in the sense of that there is a fear. There is a fear of, and maybe you might not know what that fear is, but it's maybe like, oh, I'm interested in sexuality. Oh, this interests me, but oh, I don't like, can I go there? And it's, you kind of, you can get stuck, in that space before stepping into what it is. And then once you're there and you're in the current, it opens its path for you, I believe.
Yeah, important not to deny that we have centuries of repression, especially,
Right.
women and men. So through our healing right now, we are helping like to liberate the next generations. And there is a thing when I did this path, by understanding all the wounds and the feelings in my body about not being protected by adults, about being alone, that creates on me insecurity. But when I did this and I spoke with my sister, my mother, imagine my mother, my sister, and my cousin and all my aunties just open, and they express about being abused, rape, emotions, feeling guilt about being women. So I didn't know that was in my family system. And through my liberation, I just opened a door that gave some release for the women in my family. So I really encourage people that are hearing us to carry on in this path, because it will create liberation for all your family. And maybe you will understand that there is something that comes from the past that is not just yours, because sometimes we are repeating certain patterns that we learn from our mom or grandmother. And the point is, let's find your authenticity. But it's so painful sometimes, and it's scary to find a new path in the way how we relate, or we make love, or we feel the life. It's like, no, let's carry on doing the same as I've learned. No, let's find a different path. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's very colorful, and it's filled with so many pieces. Beautiful. Okay, so the other piece I want to go into is, like, as you were journeying into discovering Tantra and sexuality and uncovering the pleasure and the healing, the question that came to me I just meditated before I had this call was, like, what were your allies? Like, did you have an ally of a modality, of, a spirit guide, of an animal guide, like, or perhaps something else? Like, what was an ally for you in your sexuality awakening?
My ally. I'm still thinking about that answer. I'm like, what was it? What was yours, Elizabeth? That helps me.
Yeah. So for me, it was really my ancestors. It was really this piece around that I was, like I was provided this path of spirituality and sexuality. Like I had this spirituality paved through my initiation with my mother, my relationship with my mother. My mother had always meditated. She was a yogi. So I had like a spiritual pathway paved. And it was the sexuality piece that I had to bring in. And the sexuality piece was completely in the shadows due to the repression and all of the angst from, you know, the ancestors and the family. And like it was, I came from a very traditional Midwest family background. And so it was as if I heard this calling of the women in my family that were like you said, like liberate us, like this, you are the one who is moving through this. And so on my altar, I have the land that my ancestors resided in Ohio. I have, you know, the pictures of my ancestors, and it was like a daily connection into them and into, you know, what even it went so far as to the money that I invested in my own sexual education came from, you know, my ancestors. So it kind of was like, this is here for you. And they were the ones that have been on my path.
For me, you know, since I was a little child, everyone was saying, you are going to be a sexologist. You love talking about sex. So I always try to find a moment, but since the beginning, I was so curious about this topic. And my mom was really open, liberated, and my dad was this speaker man. But also, he was a fugitive when I was a little child. Like he was accused to do something and his animal react and he just run away. So for 6 years, I didn't know anything about my dad. Sometimes he appeared and disappeared, and it was a beautiful time in my life, and was quite weird. So what I'm saying is like I was in a path where being successful and showing your energy was dangerous because that happened with my dad. So my process has been about showing myself, talking about something that is really new. Now it's not that new, but when I became women that communicate sexuality, I noticed that it was about breaking patterns and being someone like shakes the world of everyone, because showing your energy was dangerous in my mindset. And during this moment that I realized, okay, let's do something different. Let's speak about sex. Let's explore about women body and women pleasure and women orgasms. I noticed that I came from two families. One, it was the submissive women, like from my mother lineage. Like, okay, everything is okay, like following the man. And the other one was the dictator, you know, but against feminine energy, saying to everyone what they need to do. And I have that situation like the Virgin Mary and Magdalene, you know, like both. Like, so that's why I feel that I'm a dragoness in the two worlds. I like the tantric, I like the lifestyle world, like I like the kinky, I like the tantra. It's like I'm in the middle, trying just to help people to open their eyes and find, their path. So I don't know if I have a specific moment. It's just I can't say like I was born with that. It was like, you have to do it. It's so difficult sometimes, Elizabeth, to release it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's very much of your soul's journey and your soul's purpose that you know, tapped into at an early age.
Yeah, I can say crazy things like, okay, in past life I was, but no. It's like I love pleasure. I love when someone can just rethink about their way, how they're living life, and help them to feel like orgasms in every cell of their body. I love to break, you know, the comfort zone with other people, because I wish I could have someone doing the same to me. I was like there, like, hello, look at me, I'm here, I need attention, as a little child. So that's why I create this business. Like it's like, look at me and let's change the world, you know. But at the end, all this pleasure path of sexuality searching is about love. It's about connecting with the heart and connecting with this capacity to understand that if you have trauma, you can use that as a way to encourage your life and change and not be the victim. I was the victim, and I have this tendency to go there, but through these tantric techniques and awareness, I'm able just to notice when I'm there and just feel it and go back to my power instead of being in the circle of, okay, there is a predator, there is someone that wants to damage me, I cannot trust men, and just going out there, I feel more empowered. And I think this is what we need. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And then in that vein, will you share a little bit about, you're going to be one of the guest facilitators for our next round that we begin in April. And would you share a little bit about what you're going to bring and offer to us in that space?
And what I love about your school is the name, New Paradigm Intimacy. No?
Yeah.
This is one of the things that I'm going to bring, New Paradigm Intimacy. And I will do it as a way that you will have like a Zoom call, but it's going to be a workshop, like a retreat, 2-hour retreat. So in my journey as a facilitator, I had the opportunity to be a lot on Zoom, teaching people from all over the world. And I think for understanding Tantra, it's important to feel it inside your body. It's not something that you get with theory or writing on a piece of paper. It's something that you need to feel inside your womb, your yoni, your lingam, your heart. So the idea is to navigate the tantric keys, that is breath, movement, sound, and presence, and go into a journey of feeling in the way that you will be able to have certain keys to feel more pleasure and more freedom in your life. And I will explain about the women body and the man body and how you can give pleasure on a way that can create healing, because it's different to feel pleasure just for joy than helping other people and your own body to release through pleasure, because pleasure is divine, eros is divine. So this is what I want to bring to all those that are going to be able to join us. And what's important is like we are going to be also able to understand what's moving inside us. Instead of thinking, it's about feeling without effort, just with power, because it's different to do something like, okay, let's feel your breath, let's feel your heart. You are pushing yourself through the mind to feel, but there is a way that it will happen organically, and the mind will just silence, and you will be in present, feeling yourself and understanding what is your essence. So my idea is, to give the basics for those that wants to understand what is Tantra, how this works in a women and men body. So I don't know if you have any questions about this, or it depends of the world, the group, of course. Like by seeing all of us, we'll understand what we need as a group in this session and during your course.
Yeah, beautiful. No, I love it. And it's very much aligned with what we teach, because we work with the self-pleasure modality, which brings in like somatic piece of somatic experiencing and the tantric tools of sound, breath, movement, and touch. And, what we bring in is the self-pleasure as a way to regulate the nervous system, as a way to connect back to the sensations of the body, as a way, to release the strongholds of the mind, and to connect to the aliveness of each cell. And so I feel that what you're sharing, as the students have been practicing their own self-pleasure practice, I feel like what you've been sharing is going to be mesh and just flow really beautifully into the experience.
Yeah, and doing it together is a really fun way. Imagine like you are studying and doing self-pleasure, breath work, talking about sexuality. It's a really sexy path, the Tantra, the tantric path. I just want to mention that self-pleasure is one of the keys that I use, and it's a huge technology. And I have found that sex pleasure is divine. We have so much shame about it. And just by doing it alone or with a group of people as a ceremony, your mind just changed. And it's like a quantic jump. I remember the first time that I had I was on a self-pleasure circle with more than 40 people. I was like doing it, and I saw all this shame that I have, and I was dancing, feeling so disconnected. And there was a moment that I was like, oh my God, poof, something happened. And I felt so much joy, and my body was again moving along without me saying, let's move. It was just this flow and this joy of being and this gratitude. And I saw everyone doing something that is normally blamed on a way that was a celebration. And I understood that we should do this all the time. In fact, I have a self-pleasure circle with my sister husband, my brother, my cousin. I brought this into my family, and it was so beautiful to see that it can be innocent. Instead of just thinking that self-pleasure is for friction and having orgasm, it can be a ceremony of the heart and ceremony of the body. So it's beautiful.
It is. Oh, I love that you do that with your family. That just gave me a beautiful idea. I love that.
Which idea? I'm just, what I'm laughing, Elizabeth, because maybe those that are hearing us and are hearing these women being so serious and going deep, but I'm just having memories about us when we were roommates. So we had so much fun talking about sex and our connection with men and explorations. So it's so nice seeing that both of us are so into this path, trying to open our eyes and show that there is another way to live sexuality that is more profound and deep.
There is, yeah. Beautiful. Okay, well, do you feel anything else to share with the audience? I feel like we have talked for about 30 minutes or so.
Maybe let's breathe together.
Yeah, let's breathe together.
Yes, feeling so much gratitude for this. For me, has been amazing to be able to speak in your language, in English. Thank you so much. Remember that my language is Spanish, but yes, I wish you could get a little bit of what I had said, and please join us into this beautiful world of learning about how to break paradigms about intimacy. It's a way, it's a pray that we have to do.
It is. It's a walking and moving prayer. Yeah. And would you like to share, do you have any upcoming events or anything that's happening that you want to share with those who are listening?
Yeah, I do teach normally in Spanish. In English is when I get this through invitation. So you can go to the website Sexurero. It's quite difficult to pronounce for English speakers, but I will say you can post it on the text and the description. And I have women retreats in Spain, Colombia, and men and women and couples retreats, as well as online courses and live events, and one festival every year that is called Evolus. So you can check that. Since 2011, I've been doing this, and in 2018, I started really focusing into the online business. So that gave me the opportunity to be worldwide. But yes, you need to search what's going on and what's alive. And if you want to ask me something, I will be happy to answer through Sexurero. That is the website or the Instagram. And especially I will call the women, because I'm really into that, like helping women to connect with their love and power. It's my calling. And so if you feel that and you feel certain connection, I'm here for you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of this journey with me. And I'm just really, really honored and just loving every minute of it.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the New Paradigm Intimacy podcast. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Willis, and I am your host and owner of the Institute New Paradigm Intimacy. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it both activated and vibrated in your body. If you liked what you heard, please be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Spotify and leave us a review. It really helps us out. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at New Paradigm Intimacy. For behind-the-scenes content and enrollment notifications for our graduate self-pleasure modality certification course, and more tips as we bring pioneering approaches to sex, business, and relating. Have any questions, comments, or topic suggestions? We'd love to hear from you. Drop a message on any of our social platforms. Until next time, keep exploring your edges in pleasure and leaning into what it means for you to be a part of the cutting edge of sexual evolution.